Hi guys, welcome back again to another video on our channel. Some of the German watchers already know that we are always very transparent, very open with what we do, how we operate, and we do not only tell you which watches we sell good and for a good price and what we do perfectly fine, but we also talk about our mistakes, and some form a video type that is very popular with the German viewers is something that I want to talk about today, and it's about watches that we did buy and cannot sell as to right now. Some of the watches will surprise you, some of the watches you will not know, most probably. So these videos are always also a chance to sell something, and if you know that we are having trouble selling these watches, you also know that we are very open for discussions about prices. So if you see something that's interesting for you, then just make contact with us and we can work out a deal possibly. And we will start with the watch that we have for the longest time, and it's over 1.5 years we are sitting on this watch, and it hurts very much because it's actually not a very, I would say, not an unknown model, but a very special edition of it. And we're talking about the IWC Pilot Chronograph limited edition, the last flight. It's limited to 1,700 pieces, and what can I say about this watch? Actually, if you look at it on a technological viewpoint, it's not a bad watch. You have a ceramic case, you have a titanium case back and pushers on the sides. It's limited to 1,700 pieces. It comes with box and papers. It's very rare. They also had this watch with platinum, so ceramic and platinum, and we sold it for double the price we offer this one right now immediately. But this one seems to be hard to sell. I don't understand why, because the brown ceramic is very special. The Pilot Chronograph is actually a model that we are selling pretty good. So I guess that most people just don't know about it, just don't know the reference, and it's sometimes a little too special for the most people, I would say. But if you look at it, you can see some beauty in it. You can see that it's one of the pieces that you have to look at twice, so you can recognize what the designer had in mind. If this is something that you want to wear, you can wear it, because ceramic is a beautiful material to wear. You cannot scratch it easily, but you can also just take this watch and have it in your collection, because it's fairly rare and the last flight series will not come back again, so this might be your only chance. If you want to get a Pilot Chronograph, you can consider if this is an option for you, because it's, I would say, more collectible than the normal one, and from the price it's not even that much higher. We are already in the loss area, so we are already losing money on it. So if you want to make a suggestion, a fair suggestion, I will not sell it for 5,000 euros, but if you want to make a fair suggestion, feel free to do so and we will consider it. Also, if you want to give us something to trade in, I think that we are more flexible with this piece than with other pieces. So the next watch that we have trouble selling is a very difficult story, because it's the Panerai submersible 1950 panga. This is a watch that was very strictly limited because it has a very nice complication for divers, because the submersible is a diver's watch, and this complication is very interesting for divers. It has a depth measure unit in it. We received this watch, it was, to be honest, not properly working. The main movement, the automatic movement, was working perfectly fine, but we found out after research that the depth gauge is not working. So after sending it to Panerai so they can check it, they found out that the depth measure sensor is not working. They serviced the whole watch, it's already serviced, we have their insurance, they already told us 100% that they can get this sensor, and as soon as they have it, we can send the watch to them and they will replace it. We have mails from them, we have it written down, and we are right now selling it a lot under market value and with the absolute safety that this will be replaced at some time, but we cannot tell when. So in my opinion, if I was someone who's looking for this watch, I would be like, okay, I'm not going to dive with it realistically, so why not take it like this, as cheap as possible, and when it gets replaced, even if it takes 2, 3, 4 years, so what? I mean, you don't see any difference when you're wearing it on the surface, so it's only relevant if you really plan to dive with it. And that's why I don't understand why we cannot sell it, to be honest. I mean, of course, it's a little tricky, it's a little complicated, but we have the written confirmation that it will be replaced at some time. We have the written confirmation that it will be for free, so no additional costs, and you pay a lot less for it just because you have to wait a little. So if this is something that you can't understand, if you cannot understand why we can't sell it, if you are willing to wait a little little and take with you this huge bonus that you get. We sell it right now for 8.3 thousand euros, and I believe the next cheapest watch on the market is over 10,000. So this might be nice bargain that you make here. But as I said, it's a little complicated, it's a little tricky. If you are not willing to put in any effort whatsoever, and if you don't want to send it back to Panerai, etc., then I understand why this piece is not for you. But for this watch, I can also, if you want to offer something as a trade-in, I can also make a good offer. So if you're interested, just let me know. The next one is a watch that I don't understand why it does not sell, because it's a very nice and very popular watch. It's the Omega Speedmaster date with the panda dial. I mean, I don't have to say much about it. It's very rare to get a Speedmaster with a white dial, and this one is also with a panda dial, which makes it even more special. Sometimes it reminds me of the new Speedmaster Moonwatch with the white dial, but then again, you also have the black elements on the dial, which make it also look like the Rolex Daytona Panda. And for this one, we are way under market price, and we offer it for 4.5k with German papers, so it's not an Asian import, it's a German watch. So if you are interested in it, just call me. It's a nice price for a very nice watch, perfectly working, in a perfect condition. I would say like new, but I don't like this description for watches, so let me know. I can't understand why this one will not sell. Let's continue with another watch that we for some reason can't sell. We sold it actually twice, but the clients both times last minute jumped off, so it's still available, and it's the Chopard Grand Prix Monaco in white gold. And in my opinion, I can't understand why people will not buy this piece. It's for collectors, especially Chopard collectors. It should be one of the most desirable watches out there. It's limited to 250 pieces, and they were only handed out to the contenders of the Grand Prix Monaco. This watch comes with the perfect set. A very nice condition, but the real magic happens in the set. You have the brochure of the Grand Prix, you have also the contenders bracelets. I think if you want to buy a special piece with a precious metal, a nice condition, nice history, this one is the best watch for this price. For a white gold watch, that alone is already very interesting. But if you consider right now that it's also limited, that it's also comes with a beautiful set and history, I can't imagine a watch that is better for this value. The next watch that I want to talk about is a Chopard mille, and once again, I don't know why we cannot sell it. It's 18 karat yellow gold. It has the Moonwatch caliber in it, so it's basically a Moonwatch with a Chopard case and branding and so on, but also with a glass case back, so you can also see the Moonwatch caliber, which is always beautiful to see. And you pay 6.2 thousand euros for a full gold watch. That already is a very nice price, but in my opinion, I don't know, I can't imagine a watch, for example, if it would be a full gold Moonwatch, you would pay 25,000 euros, and they're using the same caliber here, so not understandable. I mean, the mille is a model line from Chopard that is harder to sell. We know that already, but we have sold steel models for around this price and never had trouble with it. And I believe the reason why it does not sell so good is that a lot of people searching for Chopard watches, for Chopard mille, they will not consider a gold watch or do not know that they can get already gold watches for this price. So maybe if this video opens your eyes and you are interested in it, give me a call, and once again let me know, and we can always talk about price and conditions. And the last Chopard that I want to talk about today is a watch that's a little bit more expensive. It's the Chopard Luc 8 Days Power Reserve in full rose gold, and this watch is very special. It's a very exotic piece with a very distinguished design. What's the problem with this watch? I believe that the only reason we did not sell it yet is that people don't know this model yet. It's very rare, you cannot find it outside so often. I think I've never seen one in real life out there. And what can I say about this watch? From a technological standpoint, it's very interesting, because there are also other cheaper watches with the 8-day power reserve, but until now the only ones that I really know about for a cheaper price are the Panerai ones, and they are basically just modded basic calibers with more mainsprings. And this one is a manufacturer caliber. I think it's caliber 1.98 from Chopard. It looks absolutely amazing. If you take a look at the case back, you can see what a beautiful movement that they built into this watch. And it comes also with a beautiful set. You have box, you have papers, you have also service invoice and more. So I can't understand why we don't sell it. It comes for around 13,000 euros, and I mean, it's fairly high for a model that is not so popular, but if you see a watch from a technological and from a more collector side and not only looking for hype pieces, then this watch is actually fair for the price. And once again, if you want to make a fair offer, we are always open for it. The last watch we will talk about is something that might surprise you, because it's a Rolex and it's not a super worn down, ugly, unknown Rolex vintage from 70 years ago. Actually, it's a GMT-master 2, the fat lady, with box and papers, and now comes the important part, also with a Jubilee bracelet. All parts are matching. The watch comes in a perfect vintage condition, so not too much worn, not polished, or at least not over polished. It has a nice, it was refurbished, but in a nice way, not too much polishing done here. And the only thing that could be problematic with this watch is that it has some patina on the dial, and to be honest, it looks cool because it looks like little bubbles on it. You can see the dial here, and it's not that the dial is destroyed, because sometimes patina can look good, sometimes it looks bad. For me, this one looks actually pretty nice, and even if you don't want to pay more for the dial, even if you think about changing dial and hands, the price with 13.5 for a fat lady in this condition with this set is already fair. So if we do not sell it, I believe that it might make sense to build in a flawless dial and hands and see if I can sell it then, but then I have to sell it more expensive. So this might be your chance to get a fat lady for a fair price. I know that I sell naked fat lady GMT Masters for this price, so I don't know, maybe this is your last chance to get it. And once again, if you liked any of those watches, if you can't understand why we cannot sell them, just give me a phone ring or text me via WhatsApp, and we can work out a deal. Those watches are in a beautiful shape. They are not too much polished. They have been checked for everything, or master watchmaker checked them for everything, and they are ready to be worn and to be loved and to be sent out to the world again. So help us bring these watches to someone's life. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. And also, if you did not follow us on Instagram, or if you did not follow us here on YouTube, you can do that again, and then we can see each other again in 2 weeks on this channel. Until then, peace out.